Yeah, what usually happens is people usually trip. Do it all.
Okay, spotters ready? Referees? You want to call it? Okay, bars loaded for Geoffrey Lewis, 100 kilos. 100 kilos for Geoffrey. As we begin session 2, the men's. This is Group C. There are 3 groups in this session. Group C, Group B and Group A. Group C goes first, Group B is second, Group A is last. Geoffrey Lewis, 100 kilos.
Squat. Rack.
Okay, what do the referees think about that? 3 whites. It's a good lift. Well done, Geoffrey. Okay, load the bar to 115. 115 kilos. Rack height is 13. 13. $115 kilos on the bar for Michael. Yep. Okay, 115 kilos for Michael. Rack height is 13. Mike will be followed by Thomas, Dominic, James, Tim, Will, Daniel and Gary. 115 for Michael. Bars loaded for Michael. It's the men's Group C. Michael's a 74 kilo lifter. Weighed in right on 74 kilos today.
You're ready. Deep breath. Long. Chest high. Light. Really good. Rack. Drop.
Okay, and that's a good lift. Okay, load the bar to 152.5. 152.5 for Thomas. Thomas is also a 74 kilo lifter. Rack height is 13. Rack height 13. Thomas Roncone, 74 kilo lifter, weighed in at just under 73.8. 74 kilo division, hotly contested today. A lot of strong 74 kilo lifters in there. Okay, bars loaded for Thomas. What's Opening attempt, 152.5.
Squat. Rack.
Nice deep squat, and the referees like that. Okay, well done. Load the bar to 165 kilos. Rack height 14 for Dominic Zinghini, competing in the 83 kilo division. Weighed in at 82.8. $165, rack height 14 for Dominic. All the men achieving their opening attempts so far. Important to get your opening attempt, it sets you up. Bars loaded, 165. 165 for Dominic.
Squat. Rack.
That's a good lift. Load the bar to 170. 170 kilos. Rack height 13 for James. James, a 74 kilo lifter. Have 6 lifters in the 74 kilo division today. Some really experienced lifters in 74 and some newcomers. 170 kilos for James. Bars loaded. Opening attempt. Weighed in at 73.6. Hotly contested division tonight. Really deep, yeah, that's a good lift. Well done. Load the bar to 180 kilos for Tim Davis. Rack height 16 in, and the racks are to be in. Racks in. The racks are to be placed in. Oh, sorry, correction. That to be out. It just says you can. $180 kilos, rack height 16. Rack height 16. I need the next attempt from James. Tim Davis next on the platform. He'll be followed by Will, Daniel Anderson, and then Gary Young. Bars loaded for Tim. 180 kilos. Opening attempt. Good opener for 83.
Drop it up.
Two white and a red. That's a good lift. Well done. Okay, load the bar. The bar stays at 180 for Will Berkman. Rack height 12, 180 kilos. Rack height 12 for Will Berkman, also competing in the 83 kilo division. He weighed in at 82.6. Weighed in at 82.6. Good opener. Bars loaded. 180 kilos for Will. Opening attempt. All the men successful so far. Always good to get your opener.
Come, Will. That's up, chin up. Big breath. Elbows up. Up, elbows. Rack.
3 whites, that's a good lift. Well done. Okay, load the bar to 190 kilos for Daniel Anderson. Competing in the 74 kilo division. Weighed in right on 74. Rack height is 10, rack height 10. 2 reds, a blue, a green, and a 2.5. 2 reds, a blue. Wilbur. 190 kilos on the bar. Bars loaded for Daniel Anderson.
Come on, Daniel. Come on, Dan. Easy open up. Squat. Rack.
Yes, easy lift. 1 good opener, 3 wide. Okay, load the bar to 200 kilos. 200 kilos for Gary Young. Rack height 11. Good competition between these 2 lifters at the 74 kilo division. 200 kilos. Rack height 11 for Gary Young. Gary weighed in at 73.4. Bars loaded for Gary. 200 kilos. We get 5 spotters on the platform, please. Anything over 200?
Come on, Gary. Strong lift. Easy up top.
Come on, Gary.
Squat.
Lots of power there. Okay. Start the second round of the squats. Okay, load the bar down to 105 for Geoffrey. 105, rack height 11. Geoffrey will be followed by Michael, Thomas, Dominic, James, Tim, Will, Daniel, and then Gary. Geoffrey Lewis, you're next on platform, 105. For Geoffrey. Geoffrey, the Masters lifter, competing in the Open today. He weighed in at 72.4. His opening attempt on the squat was 100. Now he moves up another 5 and the bar's loaded at 105.
Punch it up.
Come on, Geoffrey, drive. That's the effort. And the referees like it. Well done. Well done, Geoffrey. Load the bar, 122.5, rack height 12. 122.5, rack height 12 for Michael. Michael, you're next on the platform. Thomas, you're on deck. Dominic, you're on the hole. You'll be followed by James, Tim, Will, Daniel, and Gary. Michael, you're on the platform next. 122.5. 122.5. Michael successful in his opening attempt at 115. Bars loaded. 122.5 the total now. Michael, Stagni. Bars loaded. Count the clock down. All lifters given 1 minute, 60 seconds to get to the platform. It's always important for lifters to note what's going on in competition. Lifting order can change. Have to know when you're lifting. You can see the clock counting down on top of the lights.
And in future we won't have countdowns. The numbers they have to let you know if you can carry on with competition and waste too much time.
Okay, that's time. Okay, load the bar to 160 kilos. That's a no lift for Michael. 160 kilos for Thomas. Rack height is 13. Rack height 13. Dominic, you're on deck. You'll be followed by James, Tim, and Will. Thomas, you're on the platform next. 160 kilos. Thomas opened at 152.5. Now he's moving up to 160. 160 kilos, competing in the 74 kilo division, and the bar's loaded for Thomas. Weighed in at 73.8. So good body weight.
Big breath. Squat. Up. Alone. Rack.
do we got? We got 2 white and a red. That's a good lift. Okay, load the bar to 175. 175 for Dominic Zinghini. Rack height 14. Rack height 14. 175. Rack height 14 for Dominic. $175 for Dominic. Bars loaded. 175 for Dominic.
Strong. Wide. Swap. Up. Punch it up. Yeah. Oh. Right.
That's a no lift. Re-racking the bar before instruction. Yep. Okay. The bar remains at 175, rack height 13. Rack height 13 for James, 175. 125. Do we have? $175 for James. He opened at 170 and the bar's loaded. 175. $175 for James. Successful in his opener. 170. Weighed in at 73.6. Now pushes up at another 5 to 175. Really great depth there. That's an Olympic squat. That's a good lift. Well done. Load the bar to 190. Rack height 16. 190. Rack height 16 for Tim Davies. 190 kilos. Rack height 16 for Tim. Will, you're on deck. Daniel, you're on the hole, and you'll be followed by Gary. Tim Davis, you're on the platform next. 190 kilos. Weighed in at 82.7. The bar's loaded. Successful in his opening attempt at 180. Now we push up another 10. 190.
Strong setup, Tim. Chest up, lights on, come on. Squat. Rack.
3 whites, that's a good lift, well done. Okay, the bar remains at 190 for Will Berkman. Rack height 12. Bar stays the same at 190, rack height 12 for Will. Will successful in his opening attempt at 180. It's important that lifters, squatters get proper depth when they're squatting. Referees keenly look at the depth. Bars loaded, 190 for Will. Second attempt. He weighed in at 82.6. Will's second attempt, 190.
Stop, hold on. It's right. Close. Wait. Rack.
And we've got 3 whites. That's a good lift. Well done, Will. Okay, load the bar at 205. 205 for Daniel Anderson. Rack height 10. Rack height 10. 205. 205. Daniel weighed in at 74, competing in the 74 kilo division. Great battle between these two contestants today. These two lifters, Daniel Anderson, Gary Young. Around about the same body weight. Lifting about the same. 5 kilos difference separate them.
Bars loaded.
Bars loaded for Daniel, 205.
Come on.
Daniel's a veteran of equipped powerlifting. Made the switch to raw. Gary, a new convert to raw.
Come on there. Come on there. Come on.
Contested 74 kilo crown. Success in his opening attempt at 190. Moving up 15 kilos to 205.
Come on, Daniel.
Come on then.
You got it. What? Up it up. Come on, Daniel.
Referees like it? Yep. Well done, Daniel. Okay, load the bar to 210, rack height 11. 210, rack height 11 for Gary Young. Gary successful in his opening attempt at 200. Pushed it up another 10 kilos to 210. I think this might be a PB. Personal best, I think this is in comp, 210.
Bars loaded.
Bars loaded for Gary.
Come on, Gary.
Weighed in at 73.4 kilos, opened at 200, pushing up now another 10 kilos to 210.
Nice and easy, Gary. Just like in training. Come on.
What? Come on, come on, come on.
Oh, easy. That's a good lift. Yep, the referees like that. Well done, Gary. Okay. Now we begin the third round. Deload the bar to 110, rack height 11. 110, rack height 11. For Geoffrey. $110, rack height 11 for Geoffrey. Geoffrey, you're on the platform next. Michael, you're on deck. Thomas, you're on the hole. Thomas, you'll be followed by Dominic, James, Tim, Will, Daniel and Gary. Geoffrey Lewis, you're next on the platform at 110. Bars loaded. Geoffrey weighed in at 72.4 as a Masters lifter, but competing in the open division today. All lifters competing open. Come on, Geoffrey, last squat. Come on, Geoffrey. Drive. Oh, take the bar. Great attempt, Geoffrey. Okay, load the bar to 125. 125. Rack height is 12. Rack height 12 for Michael. Michael will be followed by Thomas, Dominic, James, Tim, Will, Daniel, and Gary. Michael, you're next on the platform. 125, rack height 12. Thomas Michael successful in his opening at 10.115. Missed his 120, missed his second.
Oh yeah.
Now he's trying 125 for his third.
Well done.
125 on the bar. Bars loaded. Michael in the 74 kilo division. Stop the clock. Okay, restart. 125 on the bar for Michael. Third attempt.
It's on, mate. It's on. It's all. Wait for the fall.
Squat.
Press. Chest high, chest high, chest high. Wait.
so 3 whites. That's a good lift. Well done, Michael. Okay, load the bar to 165, 165, rack height 13 for Thomas. Okay, 165 for Thomas. Bars loaded. Thomas successful in his opening attempt at 152.5. Success in his second attempt, 160. Now he's pushing it up another 5 kilos to 165. Weighed in at 73.8. Dominic, you're on deck. James, you're in the hole. Tim, you'll follow them. 165 on the bar. Last lift for Thomas.
Big breath, elbows.
Replace the bar.
Come on.
No, that's a foul. Got to wait for the referee's call for the squat command to be given. No lift. Okay, load the bar to 180, 180 kilos for Dominic. 180 kilos for Dominic. Rack height 14. Rack height 14. Dominic successful in his opening attempt, 165, missed his second at 175, but has confidence enough to push it a bit further to 180 for his last. Weighed in at 82.8. Bars loaded, 180. Take the bar. Well spotted, guys. No lift. Okay, the bar remains at 180. Rack height 13. Rack height 13. Bar remains at 180, but rack height 13 for James. James's opening squat was 170. Successful there. Success in his second attempt, 175. The bar's loaded for the third attempt, 180. He weighed in at 73.6 kilos. Bars loaded for James. 180 kilos waiting for you. Very deep, but nope, couldn't get past the sticking point. Okay, load the bar at 200 kilos, rack height 16. Rack height 16, 200 kilos for Tim. This is Tim's third attempt. Tim was successful in his opener at 180. Second attempt, 190, was successful there. Pushing it up another 10 kilos to 200. Weighing in at 82.7, competing in the 83 kilo division. 3 lifters, the bar's loaded, 3 lifters in the 83 kilo division today. $200 kilos, 5 spotters, anything over 200. We get 5 spotters. Weight's starting to get a bit heavy now.
Right on that tip. Come on.
Right, Jimmy.
Right. And punch it up.
Okay, what are referees say on that? 2 white and a red? Or 2 red? Well done. Double tongue. Good lift. Okay, the bar remains at 200. Rack height 12 for Will Berkman. Also 200. Both lifters going head to head now. Tim and Will. Will also opened at 180. His second attempt was 190. He's successful there. He's also going for 200. These gentlemen fighting it out. Bars loaded for Will, 200 kilos.
Go, Will. Come on, Will.
That's right.
Close contest between Tim and Will for 83.
Let's start. Elbows. Chin up.
Squat.
Elbows.
Up, 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 up.
What do you think about that? That one really? 2 whites, it's a good lift. Well done. Okay, load the bar to 210, 210 kilos for Daniel Anderson. Rack height 10, rack height 10. Tim and Will at 83 and Daniel and Gary at 74 going head to head for the gold. Daniel Anderson 210, rack height 10. Daniel weighing in right at 74 kilos. Opened at 190, successful there. Pushed it up to 205, success there. Now he's pushing another 5 kilos to 210. And the bar's loaded. 210, big lift for 74 kilo lifter. Raw.
Come on, Dan. Stronger.
This is what it's about. High intensity.
Come on, Daniel.
Tight setup.
4 absolute must at these weights.
Let's go, Colin. Skip. Strong. Chest up. Squat.
Come on, Daniel, go, Not today, bad luck there. Okay, load the bar to 215.5, 215.5, which is an open record. Yeah, we need national referees for this, or national referees. 215.5, this is the national record open attempt for Gary. Rack height is 11, 215.5, 215.5. Gary successful in his opening attempt at 200, his second attempt at 210. This is a national record attempt at the open for 74 kilos at 215.5. Massive lift. Weighed in at 73.4 kilos, so very light. And the bar's loaded for Gary. Come on, Gary.
Come on, Gary.
Strong, 215.5. You've trained for this. Make it happen.
Come on. Squat. Up, up, up.
It's all right, that's a great lift. New national record. Congratulations. Okay, that's the end of Group C and the men's